Here I am again, working on my money vibe. I press play to take on another round of thinking efforts about it. I admit the resistance that cries, this doesn't work, 20 minutes is a long time, what's the point? I didn't wake up this morning full of faith and fire, and my bank account hasn't yet handed me a reason, yet here I am. The reluctance I feel is not a weakness, it's not laziness. It's the expected friction between old and new brain circuits. My old beliefs about money, those circuits are thick, effortless to reach. Yet new thoughts cost more energy. But when I build strong new wiring through persuasion and repetition, my brain will lean toward the new belief just as naturally. That's why I'm doing this work. Resistance showing up today means I am standing at exactly the right threshold, the exact place where new circuits of positive money beliefs are being built right now. While I listen, and I want to remember, my value was here before money knew my name. My value is real, and I'm launching a new game where money is drawn to me like a bee to a flower. And all I have to do is learn to allow it. Yet, while I'm singing these lines, a voice comes through quite loud. Money doesn't love me, money doesn't choose me. Somehow I have to work harder than others just to earn what I want. Those thoughts, there they are, just sitting heavily in my chest, like impudent tenants who have lived there so long they forgot they were guests. I see them, I name them, and I ask with real curiosity, who said all of this? When exactly did I decide these were true? Was any child ever born believing money would overlook them, love others more? No, these beliefs were placed there, trained, repeated 10,000 times, passed down like old furniture from a world that had its own fears about money. I absorbed them the way a child absorbs everything completely, without question, without a single wall of defense. That is not my fault, and more importantly, that is not my truth. My value was here before money knew my name. My value is real, and I'm launching a new game where money is drawn to me like a bee to a flower. And all I have to do is learn to allow it. Now here is what I want to sit with today, a physical fact. The universe is expanding, not contracting, expanding without permission, without proof of deserving, without anyone's approval. Stars are forming in places no eye has ever seen, and they don't wait for recognition. Rivers find their way to the sea without a map. Forests grow without asking whether the conditions are perfect. Abundance is not an idea, abundance is the default state of everything that exists, and I exist. I am made of the same material as all of it. molecules, energy, frequency. I was born abundant as energy, as a body filled with abundance of living cells, as a mind filled with abundance of brilliant thoughts and ideas yet to arrive. On the other hand, scarcity is just one thought layered on top of a fundamentally abundant reality, and that thought was never mine to begin with. My value was here before money knew my name. My value is real, and I'm launching a new game where money is drawn to me like a bee to a flower, and all I have to do is learn to allow it. I'm not trying to convince myself of something fake. I'm trying to remember something that was always true, something obvious before the scarcity training started. My value is not a number waiting in an account. My value is not determined by who paid me last. My value is not a verdict that hasn't been delivered yet. My value is a fact. My value is a fact. And today, finally, without forcing, I am beginning to see it. My value is a fact. Something is turning on in money, the energy that follows the belief of someone who knows their worth is already beginning to turn toward me. I press play today in spite of resistance, and I'm glad I reminded myself that my value was here the whole time. I am just finally seeing it. Well, I have to say it feels pleasant to admit that I am seeing my value, that I am abundant like the universe is. Because I'm made from the same material, but is this really enough? How to believe it? Everyone is made from same atoms, so what? Is everyone abundant? No. Then why am I abundant? That is an interesting question, worth thinking about, actually nice to think about. Why am I abundant? Let me stay with that for a moment. My reality hasn't shown me much abundance yet. I'll be honest about that. My bank account doesn't scream, "You are abundant." My circumstances don't always agree either. And yet, something in me keeps asking, keeps returning, keeps pressing play. That itself is interesting. If I truly believed abundance was impossible for me, I wouldn't be here. Therefore, some part of me already knows something that the rest of me hasn't caught up to yet. Why am I abundant? Maybe the answer is closer than my reality suggests. As a part of the universe, I'm made of it, and no, same energy, same atoms, abundantly they flow. And money is that energy expanding as I grow. So let me think about this carefully. The universe is expanding, all parts of it, all particles equally, continuously. And I am not separate from the universe, I am made of it. Same atoms, same energy, same motion. Therefore, if expansion is the nature of the universe, and I am part of that universe, then expansion is my nature too. Not my goal, not my reward, my nature. And money as energy, as frequency, expands the same way toward those who are aligned with it, toward those who believe it is possible, toward those who ask, why am I abundant? And actually wait for the answer. As a part of the universe, I'm made of it, and no, same energy, same atoms, abundantly they flow. And money is that energy expanding as I grow. But here is something even more convincing. I have desired abundance my whole life. I have felt it, imagined it, wanted it, and I couldn't desire something my mind had no capacity for. If the circuit for abundance didn't exist in me, I couldn't dream it, I couldn't want it, I couldn't feel it even for a moment. Therefore, the wanting is evidence. My desire for money, for ease, for receiving freely is proof that the potential already lives in me. The seed is already there, the answer is already given. That is why I keep returning, not because I am fooling myself, because something real is pulling me forward. Why am I abundant? Because I have been reaching for it my whole life, and you cannot genuinely reach for what isn't yours to have. And here is one more thing I wanna consider. Every moment I have ever felt lack, every moment money felt hard to reach, every moment I watched others receive what I wanted, those moments didn't weaken my desire, they sharpened it, made it clearer, more specific, more urgent. Contrast does that. It shows me exactly what I want by showing me what I don't want. Therefore, every difficult moment around money was quietly building the clarity of my desire. I wasn't failing, I was focusing, and focused desire is powerful. Focused desire, aligned with the energy I am made of. The source energy is exactly how money moves. Why am I abundant? Because even my hardest moments were working for me. As a part of the universe, I'm made of it, and no, same energy, same atoms, abundantly they flow. And money is that energy, expanding as I grow. I don't have every answer yet, but the question is doing its work. Why am I abundant? I am part of everything that expands. I am made of everything that flows. And money, that same energy, is already learning my name.
So here I am, tuning to my money vibe, and something is already different. Like a door that was stuck, now beginning to move, just enough to let the light in. Just enough to be aware of the old beliefs. If they come to me, I know what to do, but I am not waiting for them, I am too busy. I discovered that's the best type of business, busy to look for answers. Why am I abundant? I started finding some answers that are worth keeping, that I am made of expanding energy, and that my desire itself is proof of my capacity. Even my hardest moments were sharpening my focus, that is significant. My hardest moments were leading me to clarity about my abundance. That is actually quite a lot. And since I know something about my abundance, I wonder, how does it feel when I believe it, even just for a moment? When I feel my value, money turns my way. Energy speaks louder than all the words I say. When the feeling's soaring, I'm up to the sky. Why am I abundant? That's precisely why. So let me try something here. Let me not think about money for a moment. Let me just feel value, my own value. Not compared to anyone, not measured by my bank account, not waiting for someone to confirm it. Just what does it feel like to ponder if I am genuinely valuable? Is that what I think, what I create, what I offer to the world worth something real? How genuinely am I valuable? How dear am I to me, to others? What's my worth? Interesting. Something habitual whispers the old belief, but no, I don't listen to it. I allow my heart to open just enough to notice it, and that opening, that warmness in my chest, that heartbeat inside it is not imagination, that is energy responding to truth. That is my body saying, yes, yes, I hear it. This direction, this is where my value lives, where money as energy belongs.
comes, because here is what I'm learning. Feeling is not decoration. Feeling is not the reward that comes after the money arrives. Feeling is the signal that calls the money forward. Therefore, practicing the feeling now before the evidence arrives is not pretending, it is not fooling myself. It's doing the actual work, the most important work, building the frequency that money recognizes. And money is energy, always moves toward its match. So when I practice feeling valuable, when I practice feeling like receiving is natural, when I practice feeling like abundance is simply who I am not waiting anymore. I am already beginning to arrive. When I feel my value, money turns my way. Energy speaks louder than all the words I say. When the feeling's soaring, I'm up to the sky. Why am I abundant? That's precisely why. Let me make this sensory, let me make this real. What does receiving feel like? It feels like that cup of aromatic hot tea when the warmth spreads through my hands before I even take a sip. It feels like finishing something I made and knowing quietly without anyone telling me that it is good. Oh yeah, that's really good. It feels like someone saying I found exactly what I needed, and it was you. That feeling, that warm, solid rightness, that is the frequency. That is what I am practicing, and every time I return to that feeling, even for a moment, even just a flicker, I am sending a signal, a clear, specific, unmistakable signal. And the universe, the same expanding universe I am made of, responds to signals, always, without exception. Now, of course, the old thought visits, it always does. This is just a feeling, it's not real money. And I feel the urge, the push to follow that thought, because its objection sounds logical. But wait, I am aware now. This is my old, still thick brain circuit firing habitually. And my new belief is a tender thought, fresh as a tiny green sprout coming up, which I choose to focus on. I'm undeniably worthy, which is so incredibly feels good. And money is energy, inevitably comes after the feeling. That is how energy works, that's the law. That is how every abundant person I have ever admired got there. Not by waiting until they felt worthy, by practicing feeling worthy until the money caught up. Therefore, this feeling I am practicing right now is not a consolation prize. It is the actual mechanism, it is the work, and I'm doing it right now while I listen. When I feel my value, oh, money turns my way, oh, energy speaks louder than all the words I say. When the feeling's soaring, I'm up to the sky. Why am I abundant? That's precisely why. I felt it today, just a flicker, just a moment of yes, this is possible. That is enough, that is more than enough, because a flicker practiced daily becomes a flame, and money follows the light.
You know, it's funny, I'm still talking about myself. Me and my money story, my favorite subject apparently. But here's the thing, I think we are actually getting somewhere, I can feel it. So let me get practical for a second. Let me test something real. When someone offers to pay me, when someone says, how much do you charge? How do I actually feel? If I'm honest, I feel small, shy, almost like I'm inconveniencing them by having a price. Like my value needs an apology attached, and that right there is exactly what we are working with today. Not the idea of being worth a fortune, the actual feeling of it. So let me ask myself honestly, when someone offers to pay me, do I feel big or do I shrink a little? Do I feel easy, natural, deserving? Or does something in me whisper, are you sure? Is it really worth that much? Am I really worth that much? That whisper. That is what we are working with today. Not the idea of value, the feeling of it, the bigness of it, the absolute expanse of natural normalcy. of being worth a great deal. I see myself clearly, I like what I see. Money sees value, and value is me. Why am I abundant? I'm starting to know. I am the energy that makes money flow. So let me feel it now, not fake it, feel it. Because the universe doesn't shrink, it expands every second without asking permission, without checking if it deserves to. And I am made of that same expanding energy. So what does expansion feel like in this body right now? It feels like something loosening in my chest, something breathing wider, something that was curled inward beginning to open. And as it opens, it grows, not loudly, not dramatically, just more, and then more, and then more. I feel it in my heart, I feel it in my gut, tingling around my ears, a warmth spreading outward, as if my energy is filling this room, this building, this street, this city, expanding further and further, past borders, past limits, past everything I was told was the edge of me. There is no edge, there never was. I am as vast as the energy I am made of, and that energy is infinite, mind-blowing, that big, not small, never small. I see myself clearly, I like what I see. Money sees value, and value is me. Why am I abundant? I'm starting to know. I am the energy that makes money flow. And from this place, this vast, expanded, tingling place, money becomes almost secondary. Not unimportant, but small compared to this feeling, because this feeling is the source. This feeling is what money is trying to match. And at this exact moment, something is shifting. My energy is tuning to the frequency of everything I have ever wanted. Not someday, now, at this exact second, I am reaching it. And what do I want? I want joy. I want to look around me and see the people I love happy, healthy, thriving. I want to create something and watch people receive it, feel it, and want more of it. I want the deep physical satisfaction of contributing something real to this world, of mattering, of being seen for what I truly am. That is what abundance feels like, not just numbers. And right now I can feel it, not imagined, felt, real. I see myself clearly, I like what I see. Money sees value, and value is me. Why am I abundant? I'm starting to know. I am the energy that makes money flow. And what else I want? I want to wake up in the morning without checking my account in fear. I want to pay for things easily, without the mental calculation, without the quiet panic. I want to create freely, not because I have to, but because I want to. I want time that belongs to me, mornings that are mine. I want to give generously to treat the people I love without counting the cost. I want a home that feels like sanctuary, a car that feels like freedom. I want to travel without budgets shrinking my world. I want to look at my life and think, yes, this is it. This is what I meant. And I deserve every single piece of it, not someday, now, because I am worth a fortune. And I'm just beginning to feel it. I may not see it fully yet, but the energy is shifted. And with every return, every listen, every moment of feeling this big, the manifestation is not a hope, it is inevitable. I pressed play today, and something in me will never be as before.
To find a better feeling.